Great to see you, Bobbi. Good morning.
Thank you for having me as always.
So a lot of changes. This year, the government is
Mhm.
taking the LA wildfires into account, extending the deadline for natural disaster victims, a lot of them across our country. The deadline is now October 15th. What other tax changes do we need to know about?
Well, first of all, I do want to just remind everyone this is for, and you said this already, but let me reinforce this is for 2024 taxes that we're filing in 2025. So if you're hearing stuff out of Washington that could be happening, that's not yet. We'll get there next year. A big thing besides what you mentioned, the natural disasters, and that is the relief that so many people need, is also the fact that, and this has been brewing for a while, there's a lower bar for small businesses in terms of the reporting of their income. So if you have a side hustle and a gig, or you're in the gig economy, this could also apply to you. If you're receiving money from places like Venmo and PayPal, that's now going to be documented. Now, you were always supposed to be paying this money, Hena, but now there's going to be proof that you earned this money, and the IRS is going to know about it, and they're going to expect you to pay your taxes on it. The good news, though, is that there are higher tax brackets. So if you got a raise at work and you're earning a little bit more, you're maybe going to still be in the same tax bracket. You'll still be paying the same percentage of your income. So that's a bit of a relief. And also, if you are eligible, you may be eligible for the IRS free file program. It was expanded up to people earning $84,000. So make sure that if you're eligible for that and you want to do that, you take advantage of that.
That is a lot to take in. I do want to talk about those payment apps like Venmo, Zelle, PayPal. How does the government differentiate here? Let's say I'm splitting costs on a payment app. Oh, I don't know, it's Taylor Swift concert, and somebody Venmos me money. Do I have to declare that if it exceeds the threshold you mentioned?
No, but you have to document that it was for personal use. So that is such an important thing for people to remember,
Wow.
especially going forward, because this is eventually scheduled to get down to $600 is going to be the threshold. This has been looming for quite a while, and it's been delayed. And now it's in these incremental steps where it's now, I think, $5,000. But you can document that. I would highly recommend that people set up separate accounts, one for business and one for personal things like you mentioned, because you don't have to pay those taxes, but you do have to show the government that those were simply, for example, the reimbursement for those Taylor Swift concert tickets.
This is complicated. I'm already feeling a little overwhelmed.
I
I'm sure
know.
I'm not alone. What are some common mistakes that people make that could trip them up this time around?
So we can get extensions, even if you were not the victim of a natural disaster. You can get an extension for filing your taxes, but you must file for that extension on time, and you must pay what you owe, and you have to estimate. You must pay it by April 15th. You can't just wait till the October 15th deadline to do that. You also, and this goes back to what we were just talking about, you can't just not report income from other sources. So if you have side hustles and you're in the gig economy, that income is still taxable. So it's important to remember that. Same thing with crypto. The government is taxing crypto now. You also don't want to claim deductions and credits that you are not entitled to. And finally, you don't want to file with a wrong status, because you can get better terms if you file correctly. For example, head of household versus being single.
Oh, I've made that mistake before. Very important note. What if you're trying to
Yes.
file on time, but you just don't have all your tax documents yet? What are the options?
Yeah, this is really interesting because we've had a transition where so many forms that used to come in the mail are now available to us digitally.
Right.
And we might get an email reminder saying, oh, your tax forms are available at our brokerage firm or what have you, or even through our human resource department at our job. So before you panic, make sure that you've actually gone and looked for those documents and that you do have them available. But if you haven't received them, obviously you want to contact the person or the entity that was supposed to be sending them to you. After that, you can contact the IRS and let them know that you haven't received these documents. Estimate your taxes. Again, you still have to pay, file for that extension. And then eventually, if you don't get them, you can file something called a Form 4852 as a substitute for the W-2 or the 1099 to estimate. But regardless, make sure you pay on time.
And we know there have been layoffs at the IRS. Some are saying it could delay our returns. What advice do you have to make sure tax filers get any possible refund as quickly as possible?
Yeah, and the average refund is over $3,000. So we do want to be getting that money. You want to file early and you want to file electronically. Don't procrastinate. Set up direct deposit. And this is really important. Make sure that you do not make any mistakes, because that's what's going to trigger a delay in getting, hopefully, that refund for you. Especially, when you have that direct deposit, make sure all the numbers are correct so that the money gets deposited directly to you ASAP.
A lot of tips, a lot of great advice. Bobbi Rebell, thank you as always.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.